A very good day to Associate Professor Azhar. Today, we will be presenting our non-parametric statistic project titled The Relationship Between Social Media Usage and Study Habits Among University Students. In this digital era, social media has become an essential part of university students' daily lives. Many students use platforms such as Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and even chat for communication, entertainment, and even learning. While social media provides educational benefits, uncontrolled usage often raises concerns regarding concentration lapse and poor time management, which might ultimately lead to ineffective study habits. Therefore, the study was conducted to investigate whether social media usage influences students' study habits. Our study has three objectives. First, to determine whether there is a significant difference in study habits among students from different academic years. Second, to determine the relationship between social media usage and study habits. And third, to compare social media usage between male and female students.
Now I will explain the methodology used in this study. This research used a quantitative cross-sectional survey where the data were collected from participants at a single point in time. The respondent consists of 42 undergraduate students from University Pendidikan Sultan Idris. We used convenient sampling, which means the participants were selected because they were easily accessible and willing to take part in the study. Data were collected using a Google Form questionnaire. The questionnaire was divided into three sections. Section A collected demographic information. Section B measured social media usage, and Section C assessed students' study habits. All questionnaire items were measured using a 5-point Likert scale, ranging from strongly disagree to strongly agree. Since the data were ordinal and not normally distributed, we used non-parametric statistical tests. Specifically, we used the Kruskal-Wallis test across different academic years, the Spearman rank correlation to examine the relationship between social media usage and study habits, and the Mann-Whitney U test to compare social media usage between male and female students. Finally, all data analyses were performed using SPSS with a significant level of 0.05. That concludes the methodology section. Thank you.
Before discussing the inferential analysis, here is a brief overview of our respondents. Our study involved 42 students. The respondents were almost equally divided between males and females. Most of them were between 21 and 24 years old, and the majority came from the 8048 program. Now let's look at the first objective, which is for the Kruskal-Wallis test. We compared study habits among second year, third year, and fourth year students. The result showed a p-value of 0.931, which is greater than 0.05. Therefore, we failed to reject the null hypothesis. This means that there is no significant difference in study habits among students from different academic years. In other words, students from different years tend to have similar study habits. Next, we use the Spearman rank correlation to examine the relationship between social media usage and study habits. The correlation coefficient was negative 0.214, indicating a weak negative relationship. However, the p-value was 0.173, which is greater than 0.05. This means the relationship is not statistically significant. Therefore, social media usage was not significantly related to students' study habit in this study. Now, I will pass the presentation to our final presenter.
For the third objective, we executed the Mann-Whitney U test to compare digital consumption across genders. Although female respondents recorded a higher mean rank than male respondents, the difference was not statistically significant with U equal to 148.5 and a p-value of 0.071. Thus, we failed to reject the null hypothesis. Now, for the discussion, our result actually shows three interesting things. First, because study habits are identical across academic years, it shows that students usually stick to the same learning routine throughout their entire university life. Second, the lack of relationship between social media and study habits prove that students have good self-control. They can browse online without ruining their study focus. Finally, the digital consumption is now a standard daily lifestyle for undergraduates, and it is equal balance between both male and female students. To wrap up our presentation, here is the final conclusion. First, we are happy to report that all three of our research objectives were successfully achieved. Second, even though all three of our non-parametric tests shows no statistically significant result, This gives us a very meaningful takeaway. Ultimately, it's proof that social media usage is not a negative factor that ruins the study habits of our respondents. Undergraduates today are fully capable of balancing their digital life with their academic success. That's all from us. Thank you.